simple idea of that we all have these stories that are part. They make us who we are. We all have these truths, these lies, all of these things that kind of create our character and create how we look at the world and our perspective. And I feel like it's in the moments when we are able to kind of go off of the surface or underneath that surface, and we share those little bit deeper thoughts and deeper stories that kind of create who we are. That's when we really connect with people. That's when we find our really deep friendships or relationships. I had this desire to let the audience be a little bit underneath the performance. What was playing in the background was these Google Voice texts that I asked people to send in.
The lie that shaped my first 60 years is that I was not worth investing in, and I was unlovable unless I was performing someone else's tricks.
I asked people just to call in and say a statement that's either a truth or a lie that shaped who you are today.
When I stopped caring what other people would think, my life dramatically changed.
One of the reasons I really was moved by this project, I think that the people that you show the world and the person that you actually are two different people, and people never really see the full story. And so when Erica told me about this concept about trying to show what's underneath, I was just really moved, and it spoke to me.
So the compilation video was just really to show what we did during the workshops. Everything you see in that video sparked pretty much something that you saw in the show. So then the hanging squares was at the very end of each workshop. I asked somebody to say, did you uncover anything new today about yourself, about dance, about art, about life, about whatever? And so these were all statements that all the community workshop people said. And then in here, this was all community members that had been at the workshops and don't consider themselves professional dancers. Some of them were pre-choreographed, but I also said, if you feel comfortable, you can create on the spot and you can go through the process. So it's a very specific choreographic process that this work and the outside work was created using.
One of the phrases I choreographed to was never above you, never below you, always beside you. And it's actually a phrase that my husband and I used in our vows to each other on our wedding day.
On the stage, when that performer was unraveling, all I felt was, yes, please take these layers off of all of the things that I have to present to the world, because that's not how I feel.
It was like, here I am in life, and I have a lifeline. And I go out a little further with my lifeline, and I get another lifeline, and I go out into life a little further, and one break. And I reach out, and I find another lifeline, and I get further out, And to me, it was just kind of a statement about how we need each other and rely on each other.
Somehow you can relate to the movement, and then it brought me back to how I was reading all of these different things and how we all have different insecurities or truths in life, but we're all connected in some way with all of that. And it was just nice seeing how this connected with that and how we can connect in some way with all of it.
In my opinion, we're all dancers because dance is movement and we all move. To what extent you decide to do that in your life depends on how much joy it brings you. You don't have to be good at something to do it, and you don't have to be embarrassed, but we as humans are so afraid of judgment, and we feel like we have to be good at things in order to do them, and that's a lie. It's not true.
And then the last thing, Lauren was sharing her story with these 4 individuals. And it was a struggle, it was challenging, you heard the material ripping, but it also brought them together, and they supported her. And that was really what the whole point of that section was. So the game of life, I was just really trying to have, make a little bit light of this idea that, as we grow older and stuff, life kind of can get more challenging and more complex, and you just kind of keep trying to play the game sometimes. And then I tried to really bring in, okay, well, now you're doing that. Now you have people dancing around you, and now you got people walking through the space, and now you got somebody that might knock over your game. Because I just really wanted it to represent just how it can get a little bit chaotic at times.
Since the beginning of time, dance is the great-great-great-grandmother of all the arts. For me, dance is ritual. It can be something as waking up in the morning and brushing your teeth and combing your hair. That's a dance. Washing your face, combing the hair.
Like sometimes words aren't enough, right? Things move you such to your core that you don't know how to express them, right? You can't find the words. How many times do people say, I can't find the words for what I'm feeling? And what I do then is I dance.
When we're vulnerable enough to share something with someone, they support us. When we dig down and are willing to reveal these really important things that kind of make up who we are, we become more empathetic with ourselves, and I think with the people around us.